need your full-time efforts at home. If you saying, well, that's affecting my career, for one, you ain't thinking about them kids at all. For two, if it's your game plan, business plan, it ain't about you no more. Because he can quit and give up if you taking care of everything like he is, right? It can go both ways.
You're really just reinforcing what I stated, that it's expected for that woman to quit.
No, it's expected for the person making the money.
You just said you would be a fool not to make the sacrifice.
Boy or girl, or a man or a woman. Okay. It's not gender specific.
But at the same time, who's typically looked for to provide? Women, that's typically the man's role. A man is expected.
Young man, the woman. Older man, the man. It took me to 30 to get to where I am. I lived off the women for a long time. So I can't even pretend like, oh, it was the man. No, them women held me down.
In most relationships nowadays are partnerships.
It better be a partnership.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's the reason. That's part of the reason why things are so problematic with the marriage rate in our community, because number one, men have done considerably better over the last 30 years. And let me put this on the screen. And it seems like the decline is like seesawing right now between men and women. But what's problematic about that is, what if, like B-Mac was saying, what if you had the situation to where you could depend on a man to be a provider and to make plenty of money to where you and your children can live a comfortable middle-class lifestyle, and need you to be home and take care of the kids? Because first of all, women are the nurturers. You know what I'm saying? Men can raise and look after children, but it's something about that nurturing factor that women have that men don't have, and kids need that. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing too that I find problematic is, if you've been married all of that time, 20, 30 years, why leave?
If it's been horrible for 20, 30 years, I got to go.
Well, when did it get horrible?
These kids are grown.
When did it get horrible?
Having kids.
Let me give you my perspective.
Wait, hang on one second. I mean, you the issue is, when did it get bad? Did it get bad in year 1 or year 30?
You know what? It could be either. It could be either. And typically, if they got married, or they've been married for some decades, it's probably been bad for at least 90% of the time.
28 years.
Why has it been bad?
Because people want to stick in there. People want to stick in there, hang in there for the kids. They want to stay in there because of what is our family and friends gonna say? What are they gonna think? We've been putting up this front for so long. You know, I don't want nobody to think nothing bad about me, or think anything bad about my husband or my wife. And they just endure pain. Let me tell you something. My parents were married for 43 years, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm 42 years old. I know for sure it was bad. It was bad.
And see, that's my point.
I used to, as a child, pray for my parents to divorce.
That's my point.
But my mother would never.
That, so you can't see the forest for the trees in front of your house, right?
But see, I know too many other situations. I've read, I've experienced. I didn't realize how bad it was until I started getting out amongst everybody else and seeing, oh my God, you know, and understanding that I wasn't the only one that's been going through like this.
The bad situations. What about all the ones in the good situations?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
They don't testify as loudly.
Because that's your circle. That ain't my circle. My circle is.
It's not
my folks. My folks get. My folks are in.
I study a lot.
I don't read, I touch down. My folks been together 49 years. And of course, like you said, they went through the turbulence and the bad times. But the majority of their 49 years was picture perfect. And that's what I want in my life. However, most folks look at the bad years and be like, I'm not going to put up with that. But out of the 49 years of their life, I'm like, I take that triple time over what I'm experiencing now. Triple time.
So, JD, you mentioned something that I wanted to speak on. You mentioned woman staying home to take care of the kids. And something that I see with younger women that are very ambitious, they're not wanting that many kids. They don't. They're not desiring to have a bunch of kids because they want to feed their ambitions. But they might desire partnership, but not desire kids. So would you expect that woman to sacrifice that ambition because her husband has an ambition as well?
Well, I mean, that all depends. So here's the thing. Let's just say, let's keep it a stat. Most people don't have careers. Most people have jobs. You know what I'm saying? And if a man is making a substantial amount of money, like in the uppers of six figures, I mean, six figures compared to 40, 50,000, 60,000, that really doesn't make a big difference. You feel me? But at the same time, if a man is only, even if he's an above average earner and only making, 70,000, 80,000, then more than likely that woman is going to work anyway. And I believe it's only like 30% or even less of women in America that are stay-at-home wives. 70% of wives in America work. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, most have jobs and not careers. So, I mean, if it was a career to where, it was a substantial amount of money, then, okay, go for it. But if it's something like, you working, if I'm making $250,000 a year and you're only making $50,000 a year, why not? You see what I'm saying? Am I making any sense?
If they don't have children and she is at the beginning stages of her career, and we all know women don't get paid like men get paid.
What are you saying?
The salaries are not balanced. We know that. That's still being fought in court. But if you're working towards something, is there still an expectation for her to sacrifice? Because, okay, baby, I'm making six figures. I got it.
Wait. What do you mean by the salaries are different?
Men get paid more than women.
What to do? What?
Anything. That's a known fact.
Are you speaking
a female engineer
for equal pay? Did y'all not
know? A female engineer can kill it.
Okay.
Right.
Over a dude engineer.
I'm gonna let you think that's right.
No.
Just like a male nurse can make more than a female
nurse. This is like a heavy political topic. How do you not know that women are
I'm just talking about real life. I don't know about that.
The wage gap myth has been proven to be false.
Okay,
and
women killing it.
But my point still being, if that woman is only making 50,000 and she's at the beginning of her career, and her husband is making 250, and they're not trying to procreate right now? Thank you. Where y'all been living?
No.
Let me procreate. Is there still an expectation?
Let me give a real life example.
This is not true.
Let me give a real life example, like in 2021.
Because she hadn't got to the six figures yet.
Got you. I'm gonna give you a real life career. It took me to get my bachelor's degree and my master's degree to get six figures, right? My baby, the mother of my kid, when we hooked up, that's when I got her on the corporate America. She has 3 years experience. Just landed the job for $85,000. 3 years experience. In my 3 years, I was making 30. Tell me how that's true. Tell me. She beat me times 50 in 3 years. It took me all my life degrees, and she's there with no degree. That's not true no more.
That's you.
It's about your skill set.
You can't see the forest for the trees.
No. It's about.
It is true.
They
are fighting for equal pay.
Gotcha.
What do you think LeBron has been out here campaigning for?
LeBron is a billionaire. I don't know what he's campaigning for. Listen, I'm not LeBron, and I'm a brokenaire, but I know real life. If you got the skill set to do the job, they paying. Yeah. Just like cheap houses in Huntsville. They don't pay the same. Cheap houses in Huntsville.
You are skewing the point. The question I asked has not been answered yet.
No skewing. I'm telling the truth.
You jumped off on a rabbit hole about the equal pay. But the question I asked about the sacrifice, because she hasn't made it to the 6 figures yet.
I mean, if you don't have any kids, then fine, do your thing, and that's that couple's prerogative. But if you ask the majority of women, most women would tell you that after they have the first child, they don't want to work. That's most of them, not all, but most. And even if they don't stay out of the workforce permanently, at least until that child starts kindergarten.
To be fair, when it comes to women, in a lot of cultures, the women do the work and the men sit back like the woman. Whatever, like the king and take lions for example. The woman lion does the hunting. See what I'm saying? So it's like, what culture are we talking about? Like the past 100 years or all of Earth? Like the man can be sitting back getting fat while the women do all the work. That's been history. We're in a new culture in this Western civilization where, the men working, white man. They working.
You better leave my white man alone.
I'm sorry, I forgot. My bad. But they working in this country the past 100 years. That's changing so much, it's crazy. If a doctor, in my experience, when somebody's pitching a new medicine, it's typically a woman, and she's bad, and she's on the top of the totem pole. They're getting paid. Her counterpart isn't making nowhere close to her. Now, in our society and in our situation, it's true. If me and church girl are at the plant, they're gonna pay me more. That is true. That's true. But
I'm talking about.
Because I'm not in the plant world no more. And I'm talking about real life.
We're talking about in general.
If church girl is an engineer, a software engineer, you can get more customers than me. You're gonna make almost double than me.
But that starting salary is not gonna be the same. Now, what we have done, we have learned to work.
It's a beauty tax. You get more on the beauty tax.
I'm telling you, we know how to work our magic. Yes, we do. But we have learned to work our butts off in order to demand the salary.
Yes. Hi. Valerie, that's what I'm saying. You are right. That's what I'm saying. You are
right. Chelsea is in the building.
Hey, guys.
Oh, Lord.
Chelsea,
I've been blowing these comments up.
Yeah, you've been in the comments. Thank you so much. Apparently, you have something you want to add to the conversation.
What she got to say?
Come on.
Man, I got a few things to add. All right, so a few of the topics that y'all were speaking on, like, for instance, if somebody's been married for that long, why not just stay? Well, my parents were together. They were married 28 years, together 30 years. And pretty much the whole time, my dad was cheating. Like, 13 women. Yeah, 13 women. My mom, she owned her own business. She did what she did with us. And my dad was just off playing with his 6 figures a year. And so now, because they were married so long, he does have to compensate her.
Pay me for my pain.
Okay, you took vows. You
it's
pretty much abandoned your family. It's a contract. It is. That is what marriage is, and like that's why I would rather have a life partner because I feel like, honestly, in today's society, like, think about just human nature. Do you really, like, truthfully, do you feel like a human being can be monogamous for like for life without making any mess ups, nothing? Or do you think somebody is going to mess up and then have a partner that you're either going to work it out with or move on? You know what I mean?
So that part, Chelsea, I have gotten to this place of, in my whole entire spirit and soul, where I have decided I'm not getting another divorce, because divorce is like death. It's worse than death because you still have to see this person walking around, living and breathing. But with that, if, just like I said, marriage is a contract. But if my new husband decides that he wants to change the parameters of this contract, then hey, guess what? We just changed. If you want to cheat, guess what? We both gonna cheat. We got
okay. You want to be funny? We can be hilarious.
Exactly. You know, if you want to play that game, we can do that. If you want to open the door, I'm gonna step through and I'm gonna wear high heels.
Okay.
So that's just the way I see it. But I'm not getting divorced again. I'm not.
Well,
here's my thing with that. Like, if somebody's doing you wrong, the goal isn't to copy them. If they're doing wrong, don't do wrong too.
No, the thing is,
it's to do better, right?
No. Here's where you have to come to a resolve. Just like she just said, can you expect someone to be monogamous for decades? If we can't be monogamous, then neither one of us are going to be monogamous.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be monogamous, and you're doing whatever.
So with my next girl, if she makes less than me, and I'm gonna be like,
this
what
has
y'all
nothing
just
to do with money.
I know nothing to do with money, but I'm gonna get the same example. Oh, since you're broke, I'm gonna be broke too. We can be hilarious.
You sound good.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you want to be that way, I'm gonna elevate. If dude's cheating, elevate. Not, I'm gonna play too.
Okay,
That's different than man and woman.
So that brings us, if you're gonna go by that logic, then that brings us back to square one.